Hey everybody. I went live earlier today and I did my presentation. I'm going to talk to you today about some different things. I'm going to talk to you first about lighting, just really a brief overview about lighting. Then I'm going to talk to you about social media engagement and what some of the engagement rates are and how to be more engaged. And I'm also, part of my plan today is to show you what I trained you about the other day. So earlier this week, I did a video training how to use the social media engagement. And to tell on myself, because I like to do that, one of the reasons I'm doing the video over is I made the same mistake that I made earlier this week. I forgot to hide my sidebar on Facebook, and so you can see all of the names of the people who are following me or friends with me on my sidebar, and I don't want you to be able to see that because I don't want them to get like random friend requests. And also I did an airplane situation, which thank goodness I didn't go use the bathroom or do anything super embarrassing, but I thought I had ended the video and I kept on. I went off and was doing other things and it was recording what I was doing. And so that was ridiculous. So make sure when you get to the end of your video, even though you're on your camera, so that's what I was doing. I was on my camera and I closed out of my camera and I forgot to close out of my live video on Facebook. So make sure you remember to close out your live video because you don't want people to hear you doing random things that you don't want them to know that you're doing in the privacy of your home. So try not to be part of the All Humiliation Network because that's my job. Anyway, you see my hair's a mess. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you today about is lighting. So if you noticed the other day, the lighting, my face, it was like my face looked really pale and it was like super kind of bright. I was in my living room. So now I'm in my home office and I have pink walls. So you can see the pink walls in the background. And in the living room, I had a window kind of off to the side behind me. And now I have one directly behind me, see, so you can see the sunlight kind of coming in. I have an overhead light on right now. And I have a light right in front of my face. So you can really see my face really clearly right now. So I'm going to turn off I'm going to just show you what this looks like if I just turn off the lights and I just use the natural lighting in the room. So now I'm going to turn off the light that's actually just sitting right in front of me. So here I'm going to turn this off. So that's a huge difference, just that alone. That's what I look like without a light shining in my face. And now I'm going to reach over and I'm going to turn off the light switch, which is the overhead light. So then you can see what else I look like and you can really see my tan lines. Woo, that's nice. Okay. And now I shut off the overhead light in the room, and now all that is in here is the natural lighting in the room. So you can see what a huge difference that all makes. I'm going to turn this light back on, the overhead. And I'm going to turn the other light back on too. So that's just how you can try, manipulate lighting a little bit to help with how you're viewed on your live video streams or on your laptop or whatever. And again, I don't have special lighting. It's just the lighting in my home. I didn't go out and buy a light. I just have a lamp on my desk and the overhead light and the sun. Thank you, world, Mother Nature, for that. So, anyway, that's all I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you today about social media engagement, and that way you know how to be more engaged on social media. And because everybody's working from home, and so one of the big ways to interact with your customers is through social media. So you can interact with your clients, your customers, your coworkers, B2B contacts, or even potential clients. So this, this is a great time to grow your social media marketing package. Okay, So, and while I'm at it, I should tell you that I'm also a social media influencer, so I might know what I'm talking about. I think I do. So let's double check here. Let's check it out. Okay. So I'm going to go first to this is my business Facebook page. And I have about 472 followers on my business Facebook page. See there, it says 466 likes, 472 followers. And where I go to find out how engaged my followers are on Facebook is you go to Insights. And it shows like my post reach has increased like 927%. My post engagement is at 963%. I'm getting a lot of emails lately. And so the reason this is so much higher is really lately I've been more engaged on social media myself. And how you get more engagements on like Facebook, your engagement rate on Facebook, by the way, you want it to be 10%. So mine is like really high. Okay, so this is pretty much phenomenal right now. And so really your average engagement rate on Facebook, you want it to be 10%. So like on my personal page, I have like 300 followers. So if I posted a picture and my friends were being engaged with me, then I would get like 30 likes on that picture. And if I don't get 30 likes on that picture, then I'm going to be sad because then I know I'm not getting engaged with my friends. But on your business page, it's the same way. You want like at least a 10% engagement rate on your posts. And how to get more engagement is first, especially on Facebook, to post during peak times. So, which is usually in the morning before people go to work. And just so you know, people in the kind of 30 and above age group are the main users of Facebook now. And so that's really more your target market. It's not so much kids. And so that's why I say before people go to work. So like in the mornings, you know, like I get up at 5:30 and people are starting to contact me already on Facebook, and or until about 9 a.m. and then it drops off. And then around the lunch hour, so maybe 11 to 1. So really more like lunch hours. And then in the evening after 5 o'clock, when people get off of work, they get on Facebook. And then also later at night after dinner, like before they go to bed. So usually around 9 to 11 p.m. And then the more you post on Facebook, the more your posts are going to show up in other people's feeds. It's just like any other, like a commercial or an ad. The more the ads are on TV, the more people are going to see it. So the more you post on Facebook, the more people are going to see it. And one of my other tips for Facebook too is you don't want to just keep throwing your stuff out there, like buy from me, buy, look at this thing that I made. You want to offer your services or maybe talk about industry news, or like I share books that I read, because I don't want people to be inundated with like, oh, please buy my service, even though I do want people to buy my service, but I also want them to know that I care about them as customers and as people and about their personal growth and development as much as I care about my business growth and development. So that is Facebook. So really you want it to be at 10% engagement. And so anything above that, you're doing good. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is Twitter. And this is my Twitter page. I have a business and personal page on Twitter is the same, at JR Harrison MPH. And as you can see, I have 4,207 followers on Twitter. And so the key to Twitter is really being engaged. So, you know, it's like going to a party and making sure you talk to like at least half a dozen people when you're there. And so that's really the key to Twitter. To see how well you're doing on your analytics, which is really what all this is about, is analytics, right, on Twitter. Twitter, a good rate for Twitter on analytics is, let me go to tweets. is between 0.2 and 0.9%. And I'm at 0.7 today, which is good. And one day I was at 2.3%, and that's great. And here I was at 2.5%, and those are great. And the reason, even though it seems like a low number, the reason it's great for Twitter is it's like something's constantly coming at you, and there's no way that people can respond to every single tweet, because it's like, I don't even know how many tweets a second are coming at you. But the fact that you're getting noticed in that feed by people, that means that you're doing really well. So people are paying attention to you. So that is another way. So Twitter, the engagement rate is 0.2 to 0.9%. And you can look at like your top tweets, which is what I do. And it tells you the engagement rate for each one. So this one was 0.5%, which is good. And I said, schools in our area have canceled for 17 days. That means kids who normally receive free and reduced breakfast and lunch may not have food. And so I was talking about kids needing food and being available to have something to eat. So Twitter, you also can track, it shows you how many impressions you have per post. So I had 4,860 impressions on that post alone, and you can check per day. And then that just gives you an overall idea of how well you're doing. My next site that I use a lot is LinkedIn. And this is my business part of it. I don't have that many followers on my business page. And here the numbers, they don't look so great. I have 28 new followers, so it's up 55%. And my post impressions are down. I don't really I'm not an active, take an active part on LinkedIn to try to make my numbers be up, because they're already really high. So on my personal LinkedIn, I have, it's going to show me like over 8,000 followers. And so I don't really feel a need to work really hard to get more followers. And I do want to get have more engagement, because that can drive business, and also just to get people to be more aware of my business and what I offer and who I am. So this is my latest post, and LinkedIn shows the analytics by the post, and you can track this over time too. So this particular post on LinkedIn had a 7.69% engagement rate, and you want it to be about 5%. So that's pretty good for this post. And then this post was at 0%. So pretty much nobody did anything with it. They just looked at the picture like, oh, hey, that's a nice picture. See you later. Bye. And then this post, my engagement rate was 7.14%. And so that's pretty good. So I'm happy with that. And the same with this. So, but LinkedIn, this is at 5.56%. So that's about average, a little above average. But like I said, LinkedIn, I kind of just let it do its own thing. It's kind of on autopilot for me at this point, because I've been on it for so long. And so I'm not as engaged. I'm mostly engaged on Twitter and Facebook, because I get the most traffic to my business site from those two social media feeds. Then just as an example, so you can see that I'm not doing great at everything, I'm going to show you my Pinterest feed. And I'm hardly ever on Pinterest. I just post things on there, and I let Pinterest do whatever. So I might be on this is my business account for Pinterest, and I just share things on there. And really, I looked to see what a good engagement rate was. I researched that before I got on here. And some people say that every time you post an ad, you want to be at 100% engagement. So you want 100% of the time your ads to be shared with somebody else. Well, I don't have any ads. So these are really just my posts that I'm posting. And then some people said it's like 20%, 30%, 50%, it varies. I would say these are not ideal numbers for me on Pinterest. I would really want them to probably be at least around 30% or higher, but 100% isn't reality, and we don't live in la la land. So we need to start thinking of that in a, more realistic way, the Pinterest numbers. And so I'm going to start researching this, because as you can see, I've had days where I didn't have anybody sharing my post or engaged, and I don't want that. I don't want these valleys like this. So, and one way to do that is just to go online, and especially Pinterest, is to like and share other people's pages. So then they're like, oh, they liked and shared my page, I'm going to look at their stuff too. Or, maybe other people, your name will pop up on other people's feeds because you shared a picture that they liked. So that's all Pinterest. And now I'm going to go back to my camera, because I'm going to talk to you about, for half a second, how to be more engaged on social media. So here I am. Hey. So one of the ways to be more engaged on social media is to use what's called the 5-3-1 method. And I just learned about this recently, so I've been doing it. Basically what you do on whatever social media site you're on, so you're more engaged, is you like 5 posts. So you go in and like it, yeah, that's awesome. And then after you like 5 posts, you find 3 posts to comment on. So if it's your friend, if it's your regular Facebook page, you'd like 5 friends' posts, comment on 3 posts, and then you share a post or comment on a story. So a lot of people, I noticed this on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram, but I didn't share my numbers because I'm kind of in the early stages of Instagram for my business, and I'm still growing that. But on Instagram and Facebook, not everybody uses stories right now, but that's a really good way to engage with people. And you can see who looked at your stories and all of that. And when you engage in a story, especially, or share or a post or retweet it, you want to make sure that you make a comment, an actual comment, not a smiley face, not a little heart, not a bunch of little emojis and prayer hands or whatever, actual words where you actually respond to somebody with words. It's think about it like going to a party, like a real in-life person party. Remember those? I know it seems like a really long time ago with social distancing, but that happened in the past. Anyway, you want to make sure that you wouldn't just go to a party and just smile at people and wave at them and call that engaging with them. You'd actually go up to them and talk to them and have a conversation about something, even if you were just telling a joke or saying hello or introducing them to somebody else. Then that's what you do on social media too. So, if you go to a party, I'm going to use this as an example too. Let's say somebody told you a joke at a party and you laughed, and that's all you did, is you just laughed at their joke. That's kind of strange, right? Or you'd usually say something after that, like, that was really funny, or I like that joke, or here's another joke for you to hear. So you make sure that you would engage with them in some way. And so that's what you're doing on social media, except for it's virtual, it's not in person. So you actually have to type the words and you actually have to say something. And then you can put your emojis and, smiley faces and thumbs up and claps and 100s or whatever it is you want to do. So make sure that you're engaged with people. And then the other part is, especially on Twitter, I do this a lot. I want to make sure that you want to make sure that you're a well-rounded person. I have one of my social media sites that people are like, well, we just want to see pictures of people's kids and positive comments and pictures of a vacation and all of this stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't have kids. I don't have any children. So I'm not going to post pictures of my children. You can only see so many pictures of my dog. I have dogs. I have 2 dogs. And I can't remember the last time I went on vacation was 6 months ago. So I'm sorry, but I don't have those pictures to put up. But you really want to be a multi-dimensional person. You don't want to just be that person who just has like these little short sets of things. It's okay to be who you really are. It is, I promise. So, and make sure that it's okay also to have an opinion. Like a lot of leaders have opinions about current issues, and it's okay to do that. It's okay to disagree. You just have to learn to agree to disagree. And that's really what our country was founded on, was agreeing to disagree. I mean, really, that's how our Constitution came about. Don't let me get started on all this history stuff. I have a background in history too. So just make sure that you're commenting and you're posting and you're being involved and engaged in what's going on. And, you keep up with people. And then one of the things too is I get a lot of direct messages, and sometimes I respond and sometimes I don't, because it depends on what the message says. Sometimes the message is not something I want to reply to. So, and that's usually because it's spam. If it's from somebody I know, I always reply. So if I know you and you're sending me a message, I'll always reply to you. But if it's like, sometimes I get just things that are like, hello, dear or something, dear, I don't respond to that. So, but if it's actually from somebody that I know, I always try to respond and at least say something. And that's another thing to do, is it's important to stay up with your direct messages, because when people are messaging you on your business site, they might just be saying hello at first, but they want to know that you're there and you're going to respond to them. And that is really helpful too. I think I pretty much covered everything. So again, basically to sum up, Facebook, you want to have about a 10% engagement rate. Twitter, you want about 0.2 to 0.9% engagement rate. LinkedIn, you're at about 5%. And Pinterest, it's pretty much whatever you decide is a good engagement rate, but I'm personally aiming for 30 to 50%. That's what I'm wanting to build mine to. So if you have any questions, please feel free to direct message me on any of my sites and I'll get back to you. Or you can post a comment in the comment section, or I don't know what else, you can send me a message through my business or my business emails. So I hope you all have a great day. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.